So welcome everyone to Warrior Wednesday. We were just having a little conversation and talking about how as we approach the end of April, there's some new uncertainty. We're not quite sure about this soft opening. So I'm just really, really grateful that you all have chosen to take some time for yourself today to do some yoga, to do some deep breathing and a little bit of meditation, some mindfulness. I want to start us off with a quote by the Buddha, who said, the translation is, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows, like a shadow that never leaves." So that's what I'd like us to focus on today is, what does that mean to have a pure mind, to have a clear mind? How can we take some time to kind of cleanse the thinking and come into a clear space where then we can maybe choose our thoughts? So we'll do that by getting out of our heads and into our bodies, for starters. So I'd like you to find a comfortable seat. And I'm just going to guide you into some breathing. My goal is to help you just kind of drop down from the busy brain into the interesting body. So when you're seated and you're comfortable, will you just close your eyes or shift your eyes down a bit and just start to notice that you're breathing. That's all you have to do is just, oh, breath is happening. There it is. And you might also notice how hard this is to just sit down in the middle of your day, in the middle of where you live, and tune things out. I'd say it's almost impossible. We have to try some other techniques. So with your eyes closed, bring your hands together in front of your chest and just start to rub your hands together vigorously. Just make some heat with your hands. And as you're doing this, notice heat. Notice the sensation of pressure and heat in your hands. And then when your hands get good and warm, just go ahead and softly place them over your eyes. Just kind of bathe your eyes with your hands. And notice that change of light, that soft warmth around your eyes. And keep that feeling, that memory of soft, warm light as you rest your hands again on your legs. And then just start to breathe deeply through your nose. Inhale as if your breath were coming right up into the crown of your head, swirling around there a little bit, and then exhale as your breath comes down, almost like it's an anchor holding you to the floor. And do that again. Breathe in as if you could just bathe the crown of your head with breath. And breathe out like an anchor hugging you down to the earth. Continue that, a few more breaths up and down. As that breath comes up into your brain, I'd like you to just imagine for today that the breath is like little scrubbing bubbles, trying to wash away any thoughts at all, just trying to help your mind be more pure, more cleansed and clear. So you notice the thought, any kind of thought, and you invite breath to just come up there and take its place. Let's use that analogy as we begin moving our bodies. So just keep your eyes closed, but drop one ear to one shoulder. And you can bring your hand up if you like and just put a little bit of weight on the side of your head. Just create a little more space there. Bring your other fingers up to the shoulder. And so just gently pull your head and your shoulder away from each other. Just noticing any sensation you feel in the side of your neck. Release both of your hands. As your head comes back to neutral, pause to notice the effect of just that one simple stretch. One side of your body feels different. And then switch. Bring the other ear to the other shoulder and add a little bit of weight of your hand. Fingers on the shoulder. And with eyes closed, breath still coming up into the crown of your head, just notice this new side sensation. And as you release your hands and bring your head back to neutral, pause again to just notice. Maybe your neck feels a little longer. Bring yourself around to a tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide, stack your hips over your knees, and begin to move your body through cat and cow. And just start to wake up here through the spine. Walk your hands forward about a hand length and shift your body so that you're in a kneeling plank. Your hips are forward, your shoulders are over your hands. Let your belly just start to drop down a little bit there. Pressing into the floor, lift your chin. And then pulling the navel to the spine, let's exhale back, hips over heels, child's pose. Movement with breath. Inhale and just let yourself come into almost a little up dog, not quite. Exhale back to child's pose. Let's start to view these movements as moving meditation. As we inhale, our breath comes into our brain, the crown of our head, just swirling and cleansing. And as we exhale, we pull attention down into the shape of our body. So you might start to notice that you're going to pause a little bit longer in those exhales. Come to child's pose and start to shift your hips to the right and to the left. Notice one hip and the other. Notice your waist, notice your shoulders. Just waking up this body. Let's raise up to the tabletop again, and we'll tuck our toes, lifting up into downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little closer to each other, and we're just going to inhale to lift up onto the toes. So you're going to feel a stretch underneath your toes. As you exhale, keep the heels lifted, but bend your knees so it almost feels like knees are going to touch the mat. Inhale the hips as high as you can, and then exhale, drop your heels. Lift your toes. And let's do that again. Inhale to the toes, stretch underneath the feet. Exhale, giant bend in the knees, almost touching the mat. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, rock back into your heels. Toes come up. We'll do that one more time. Toes, knees down. Hips high. Heels down, toes up. And then just slowly, slowly, slowly start to walk toward your hands. Let's widen the feet now, a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Touch your elbows and draw yourself down into a little deeper stretch. Use your fingers to pull down on your arm bones. Hook your thumbs in the bend of your elbows and literally pull your arms down. Exhale. With knees soft, fingertips come to the mat, and I'd like you to just start to see how far you can explore around you with your fingers, keeping your feet where they are. How far out to the side can you reach? How far forward or back? Behind you, through the legs. Where can you take your fingers to create a different experience in your legs? And we'll bring our fingers back in front of our feet, put a bend in the knees and scoop your arms up high. Extended mountain. Hands come to heart center. So we're going to do some movements called flowing chair, and I'd like you to really feel like your feet are solid beneath you. So like stomp a little bit, press, and then just sink your hips down into chair. So I want you to get the base first, the foundation. And then we're just going to start moving in and out of chair. Take your time. And make sure that when you're coming into chair, you're hinging from your hips. You're feeling that nice little pressure across the hips, and you're moving with breath. I'm just going to start to add the arms. So the arms fly back as we sit in chair and lift up on the in-breath. Start to use a little bit of an ujjayi breath, a whisper breath. Breath coming up into your head on the inhale, and then just get down in your body on the exhale. We're going to open the arms a little wider now on the inhale and sweep behind on the exhale. We're going to start to pick up the pace. As you lower, breathe out forcefully. So inhale and then almost like you're shushing someone or blowing out the candles on a cake. Sniff in, blow out. One more time, big breath in, hold, 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 hold. Hands to heart, slowly exhale. And what do you notice happening in your mind right now after a little bit of vigor, a little bit of movement? Let's take that feeling, that idea with us as we bend and move our bodies through sun salutation. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms lower, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Pull your heart forward to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause here in down dog to lift up onto your toes. Put that deep bend in your knees. Lift your hips high and drop your heels. Take a slow walk to the top of your mat. Press your hands to shins and fold forward. Bent knees, scoop the arms high, extended mountain. Hands to heart. Exhale. Do that again. Just deep breath in. Breathe into the crown of your head. Forward fold. Exhale. Down into your body. Hands to shins. Half lift. Downward dog. Exhale. You can stay here, or you can flow through vinyasa on your knees or your toes. And as we meet in downward facing dog, let's roll through the feet again and put that bend in the knees. Dropping the heels. Drop. Step or float your feet to your hands. Hands come to shins, lift halfway. And a big, deep forward fold with a long exhale. Sweep arms high. And bring your hands to your heart. And we'll go one more time. Sun A, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay there or take a vinyasa. Plank pose, knees or toes. Lower down and just come up with an ease. Find your down dog and roll through your feet. Knees, hips and heels. On the in-breath, shift forward into plank pose, drop one knee to the earth, and then kick that foot backwards off the mat. Let's open into a kneeling side plank, and then reach the arm up over the head. Stretch your body here nice and long, side body stretch. Opening that space. Keep the feeling of breathing into your brain on the inhale and then down into your body on the exhale. Come to a kneeling position, arms open out into a T, and go the other way, gate pose. Fingers to leg, lengthen the spine. Let's move back and forth. Reach over the ear. You can just land on your fingertips and then come back to gate. Moving meditation. Breathing in to purify the mind. Breathe out, come down into your body. Get interested in what's happening down here. One more time, gate pose. And then let's windmill those hands to the earth, finding downward facing dog. Shifting into plank pose, let's drop the left knee to the earth, kick the foot off, and we'll open into a side plank. And then reaching that arm overhead, let's find our side body. Starting to move with breath, bring your arms up into a T and then tilt over your leg into gate pose. Reach and breathe. And then find movement with breath. Core stays strong. Lateral movement of the spine. One more big reach and deep breath into gate pose. And as you exhale, lower the hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Lift up onto your toes. Put a deep bend in your knees. Shift your hips high and drop your heels. Let's take our feet to the width of our yoga mat and we'll walk our hands back to meet our feet. With fingertips on the floor in front of you, bend your knees a bunch. Just come down into a deep, deep squat and straighten as much as you can. Keep your steady breath. Inhale, coming up into the crown of your head. Exhale, spilling down into your body. Let's keep this movement going, but turn the toes in and the heels out. And so now the bend is a little smaller as you bend your knees. But starting to notice these outer edges, the outer hamstrings. Inhale into the crown of your head and exhale down into your body. Toes now turn out off the edge of the mat. And so now as we bend, we probably get a little bit more range of motion down into these deep prayer squats. You can keep your hands on the earth or you can bring your hands to heart center. In and out of Malasana. Breathe so deeply into the crown of your head and then just settle here in your body. And let's hold this squat. If this is hard on your knees, stay up a little higher. If your knees give you permission, come down lower and bring your elbows between your knees. Lift through the crown of your head. And then let's release those fingers to the floor. Slowly straighten the legs. Turn the toes forward. Bring your hands to your knees and put a giant bend back in those knees as we scoop the arms up. As we come into mountain, let's do that flowing chair again. Arms lift and circle back to the heart. Moving meditation. I like to say motion is lotion. Moving our joints stimulates synovial fluid, making movement easier. One more time, nice big reach. Exhale into chair, and then fold forward. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing duck. Either stay here and roll through your feet or take a vinyasa. And let's work into some of our standing posture. So right leg extends high. Circle your ankle, point and flex your foot. Exhale, slowly draw the knee toward the chin and settle the foot onto the mat. Let's stay on our back toes as we lift high. Bringing hands to heart center. Let's shift our torso low and we'll find a twist. So you can take your left elbow to your right knee, or maybe it's hand to the floor. Just give your spine a little wake-up call. A little twist. And returning to center, drop that back heel, rise up, warrior one. Hands interlace, palms press high. Arms hug in toward the ears. Breathe into the crown of your head and exhale back down into your body. As softly and slowly as possible, peel your arms and your hips open into a warrior two. Palms down. Move in and out of this pose a couple of times and see if you can find the graceful warrior. And then this graceful warrior becomes a dancing warrior. So turning the palm to reverse and to glide over the front leg. What kind of gentleness and grace can you find in your movements this morning? You breathe into the crown of your head and then just feel down into your body. One more big reach back, 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 back. And then return your hands to the earth. Come onto your back toes and just settle that knee down into a deeper look at your hip flexors. So the front of that hip lengthening. Let's rock back, finding a hamstring. And we'll move forward and back a few times and then we'll hold. Let's come back into that hamstring stretch, Ardha, Hanumanasana, half split. Walk your hands forward as far as you can. Reach your head forward and pull your toes back. Ooh la la. And as we come forward again, let's tuck the back toes, step back into downward facing dog, roll through your feet. Take that right leg up again, open the hip, and see if there's just anything new there that you can discover or explore after one side. We'll replace the foot to the other. Just notice maybe there's a difference right to left. Slowly extend your left leg high. Wiggle your toes and circle your ankle. Shifting forward, knee toward your chin, set the foot at the top of your mat. And we'll stay on the toes as we rise up to high lunge. Find your breath here into the crown of your head. Cleansing, purifying. Hands to heart. Move forward from your hips until your spine is aligned over your leg, and then rotate. Come into your twisting lunge. Put a gentle, small smile on the inside of your lips. Pleasant face. Your body responds to facial gestures. Come back to center, dropping that back heel. Rise up, warrior one. Hands interlace, palms press high. Breathe in and up. Breathe out and down. And then turning the palms again, like you're underwater. How slowly, gently, and gracefully can you open into warrior two? Let's move in and out of warrior two, just softly bending and straightening the front knee. Just find a grace here. Find an ease here. And then when you're ready, let's begin the dance of the warrior. Reverse to side. The inhale comes up. The exhale anchors us down into our bodies. Reverse your warrior. Take a deep gulp of air in. And exhale, settling your hands, coming onto the toes. Let's drop our back knee. Pausing for hip flexors. Pull your chest forward away from that back knee. And then let's exhale, half split. And we'll start by just moving back and forth. And let's hold this stretch back. Walking hands forward, pulling toes back toward the face. Shift your hips back and breathe here into the long back leg. Deep breath into the crown of your head, and then just let your exhale draw your attention down into whatever you're feeling in your body. And let's come back, tucking the toes, taking the front foot back. And we'll reach that left leg high again. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and just shake that hip out. And coming into downward facing dog, you can stay here and roll through the heels like we practiced earlier, or take a vinyasa. Let's raise the right leg up high again. And we'll step the foot between our thumbs, coming up into a warrior one. And then let your arms open wide out to the sides and reach down behind you. We're coming into humble warrior. So interlacing the hands, peeling the sternum up, knuckles reaching down. In the most slow and graceful way possible, melt your torso forward. Reach your knuckles high and allow yourself to come into humble warrior. With your head below your heart, makes it a little easier to get oxygen into the brain. We exhale, attention to the body. As your fingers come to the floor, let's turn the body to the wide edge of the mat. All 10 toes facing the long edge of the mat come to a flat back, and we'll twist both ways. So lifting the right arm up and then switching to lift the left. Go ahead and move with your breath. Inhale on the open, exhale on the close. And when you've evened that out on both sides, turn towards your left foot, drop your back heel, and rise up into warrior one. Arms open out, and interlace behind you, come into humble warrior. Lift through the chest. And then again, like how slowly, how gracefully, how much ease can you take with you into this posture of strength, of flexibility, of balance, of humility. Be easy with yourself here. Breath to your brain, attention to your body. Come back to center. Walk your hands again to the wide edge of your mat. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold down. Take a hold of your heels and gently pull. Just rest here for a few breaths. Rising again to a half lift. Let's return to the right foot, the front edge of the mat. We'll step one more time into downward facing dog. And you can choose if you want to stay here for a couple more rolls through the feet or a vinyasa. Your choice. And then when you're ready, let's take the right leg up high. We're moving into pigeon pose. So draw the right knee to the right wrist. We'll start to settle the back knee toward the earth. Start with a long and lifted torso. And then moving again with that same grace, just start to settle. Let your bones hold you. Let the muscles relax around the bones. Support your hip or your head if you like. And then we just surrender. Let's change the direction of our breath. So now as you inhale, fill your body. Fill your body with breath. As you exhale, just imagine breath leaving your body through the crown of your head. Inhale, the breath draws your attention into the body. Exhale, like a balloon, with the air leaving through the top. And let's bring our fingertips to the mat. And let's lift our spine up. We're just going to do a little flow here in this pigeon pose. So inhale into a back bend, exhale into a fold. Just do that a few times. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift and lower. And then just sitting over onto your right hip, let the left leg come around and cross over the bent knee. And if that doesn't feel good, you can extend that bottom leg so it'll just look like a seated twist. It might also feel good to get your hips up on top of something. But cross your top leg as much as you can, bringing that foot out to the side. And we're just moving into a posture called cow's face pose. So with let's see, I'm mirroring you. Right leg on top, the left arm comes up on top. And just give yourself a pat on the back with your left arm. And then the right arm reaches underneath you. I really think I did that backwards. I'm not going to mirror you now, just so that you're not confused. So my left knee is on top, my right arm is on top. Yeah, I can see on the screen I totally did that wrong. All right, so rooting down through your hips, lift your top elbow high. And on your exhale, keep your hands where they are and just bow. Just bow over that front leg, top leg. Inhale into your body. Exhale like a balloon, air leaving through the top. And then release this posture. Let your arms slowly come to the earth on either side of you. Sit tall. Uncross that top leg. And this is going to be our leg for pigeon now. So if you want, you can just kind of wiggle yourself around into that pigeon position with the left knee forward, settling the right knee back. Feel free to put something here under the hip if your hip is lifted. We want to avoid any pain in the knee. Start with the tall spine and then ease yourself down maybe to elbows or hands. Maybe your head comes all the way down to the mat. We're breathing into the body, and the breath leaves as if your body was a balloon. And the air just comes out of the crown. What do you notice when you breathe into your whole body like this? And we'll bring our fingertips to the floor in front of us, and let's just take that flow a few times, breathing into a gentle back bend and lowering down on the exhale. Quote by the Buddha, the pure mind brings joy to our lives and it follows us like a shadow. Use your breath to cleanse, to purify, chase away thoughts that are anything other than joyful and supportive and helpful thoughts. As we come up, let's roll onto our left hip. We'll cross the right leg over. Guide you a little better this time because I'm not going to mirror you. So the right leg is on top. The sitting bones are anchored to the floor. Raise your left arm and give yourself a pat on the back. Good job, you. Right arm comes up from underneath, and you might just grab a towel, a yoga strap, or the back of your shirt. As you inhale, pull your top elbow up. Sit as tall as you can, just pull up. As you exhale, anchor your hips into the earth. You can stay here or you can fold over your legs. Breathe into your whole body. Leave no stone unturned. Breath in the whole entire body. As you release your fingers, let them come down to the floor on either side of you. Roll your shoulders up by your ears, back and down a couple of times. And then we'll uncross that leg. Bring both of your feet to the floor in front of you. And we're just going to do a little one-legged boat. So the left foot stays on the floor. Pick up the right knee, and you're going to take a hold of your toes with your fingers. And you can anchor your left hand to the left knee and then just pull that leg straight up. As you do, lift your waistband up off the floor. Find your breath. Breathe into your body. As that knee starts to bend, let it open up and come into a figure four. Your hands come behind you. You can draw the bottom foot a little bit closer and then just lift the chest toward the legs. And take a few deep breaths right here. Happy hips today. And then we'll just release that foot to the floor. And draw the left knee in, take a hold of your left big toe with your peace fingers. Extend that leg. You can anchor your hand on or around that bottom leg to just kind of pull you forward. Waistband stays off the earth. And just lift and lengthen. A deep breath fills your whole body. The exhale, it's like a balloon. Inflating and deflating with ease. And bend that knee. Let's go into the figure four. Weight comes behind you and then just scoot that front foot as close as you can. Tall spine, chest lifted. Breathe. Fill up your body. Empty it out. Let's release the foot to the floor. Hands stay on the mat, fingers turned in. Inhale to a reverse table. And as you exhale, lower your hips, glide your hips back, and inhale, lift. And if your hips touch the floor, just kind of stop where they do. Just move out one more time. Breathe into the front of those shoulders. Exhale your hips down. Go ahead and find a seat. Wriggle out your wrists. Sweep the arms high. And on the exhale, fold in half. Walk your hips back. And find this seated forward fold. Breathe now into the back of your body. Pull breath into the back of your lungs. And exhale like a balloon, letting go of its air. So fill up the balloon in the back of the body. Exhale. Do that one more time. Fill up as much as you can. Open your mouth to blow out the breath. And come back to a seat. And scoot your hips to the edge of your mat and begin to bring yourself down onto your back. And once you get there, hug your knees into your chest. Open the knees out and squeeze them in. Give yourself a little bit of synovial fluid in your hips. Movement. And then let's extend the legs toward the ceiling. Hands to the floor. You can just come up into waterfall using a block or using your fists. Any way that you can make your hips a little higher than your heart. Once you've found this slight inversion, close your eyes. Now, as we approach the end of our class, I'd like you to just notice breath just in your nose. Just breath coming in, the very tip of your nostrils, and going out. Breath in your nose, in and out. Let's release that posture, draw the knees again into the chest. You can stay here or you can take happy baby if you like, grabbing the feet. Just take any final movements or stretch that your body needs on the way into Shavasana. So we're going to take about 3 minutes for just stillness. And as I'm hearing from a lot of you, it's kind of hard to rest in Shavasana when you're in a busy, noisy house. So I'd like to give you the option today to either stay resting on your back or to come to a seated meditation posture. As you're resting in either a seat or lying down, just listen to the sound of my voice and pay attention to your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. Notice your breath making its way through your sinuses behind your eyes, and rolling its way back out, just the way it came. Without changing anything, just notice breath making its way gently into the crown of your head. And back out just the way it came. Breath in, breath out. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. Let the next inhale slowly make its way all the way up into the crown of your head. And open your mouth to exhale. Sigh it out. On the next inhale, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch your body out long. Yawn. Ah. And start to make your way to one side and back to a seat. When you get to that seat, let your hands come to your heart in a gesture of gratitude. Just notice for a moment what is here in your heart. After a moving meditation, time breathing and listening to your body, what is here in your heart? And in this moment of quiet, this moment of stillness, can what is in your heart become a compass for the rest of your day? Where does your heart lead you? What's important for this very day? Let your hands stay together, but bring your thumbs to your third eye, your center of intuition. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows, like a shadow that never leaves. With hands in front of our hearts, my friends. Thank you so much for your practice time today. Namaste.